Welcome back to Good Morning Tri-State. We are just about 24 hours away from the Ray Tenzing trial resuming. That trial, came to an abrupt halt on Friday as some of the jurors concerned about the release of those questionnaires, even with their personal information redacted. Joining me now is our non-on-your-side legal expert, attorney Carl Lewis. Carl, do we know at this point if this trial is definitely going to resume?
I can't answer that, but I would assume that it is.
Okay.
The court always wants to get the cases moving and get it going again, so it's my expectation the trial will resume Monday.
All right, so the prosecution has been going pretty quickly here. They've called a number of witnesses so far. They've had a criminologist, how do you say that? Criminalist, thank you. Also called to the stand. We also actually heard Ray Tenzing's word himself the day, 2 days after this incident happened. The one thing, though, that came out on Friday, this T-shirt that he was allegedly wearing underneath of his uniform, we do have some video we can show you of that as well. It was a Confederate flag T-shirt. A picture of that was entered into evidence. This does not make him a murderer, though. People can make a lot of noise about it, but what does it say, though, to the jury?
Evidentiary-wise, it doesn't, as you say, make him a murderer or disprove he's not a murderer. It just goes to the psyche of the jurors like, wow, this is interesting. He's wearing a Confederate flag, and what does that mean? So it's going to make them think as they continue to deliberate and weigh the evidence. It'll have some impact on their thought process.
The video analyst broke down this video that you're looking at right now, frame by frame, and basically says we're talking like 0.8 of a second between the time that the car, Sam DuBose's car, started moving and Ray Tenzing actually fired that shot.
Yes, it's amazing because we're now looking at something frame by frame, but it happened in seconds. And that's probably what, if I were defending Ray Tenzing or any defense lawyer, is going to raise. Look, you're breaking down something that happened in milliseconds. Now you're questioning what occurred, but think about it. It happened extremely quickly. So what was the officer thinking? So it could cut both ways. But to look at it frame by frame is like looking at a replay out of football score.
I was going to say, this wasn't even a split-second decision. This was a split millisecond decision, which is how far down they were able to break this thing down. We also actually heard Ray Tenzing, again, 48 hours after this happened, and that was, the 48 hours was because there was a difference in the UC Police Department's union contract in the city, so they had to wait that 48 hours. But some people might say, well, what do you remember after 48 hours? How much do you remember, and what can you really recall?
Well, it's going to be interesting to see because that officer's training, or the lack thereof, and if the officer paid attention to training, it's going to be interesting. Every police department has a different procedure and policy, and it is to give the officer an opportunity, some would say to get a story together, others would say to try to diffuse, if you best you can, or debrief yourself and come in and give a clear statement based on what you can remember. Do you interview someone immediately after, or do you wait 24 hours, 40 hours? The sooner, in my opinion, the sooner the better, but that was an incident where he took a man's life. So that may be the reason why.
And then just one final question. You're representing Ray Tenzing. We have not seen the defense call any witnesses yet. What is the biggest thing that you would do? Who would you call if you were the defense attorney at this point?
No question about it, Ray Tenzing. He's got to take the stand. He's got to take and he's got to do very well.
All right, and we understand that he will do that. All right, thank you so much for your time, Carl. Always a pleasure.
Always
good to see you.